So, Johnny, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to start with our predictions for the year.
Really?
Well, actually, we're going to start with telling everybody what we're recording. This is the podcast.
This is the Glassmith podcast. That's Johnny. That's Billy. Keller. And I'm Kurt.
And behind the microphone, we got Austin.
Not microphone, the camera.
On the other side is microphones, on the other side of the camera, on the other side of the computer, on the other side of the table. Oh. Fuck, he's everywhere. He does everything. Everywhere. He's behind these microphones for sure.
That's no doubt.
Yeah.
Welcome, friends. So this is the first episode of 2024, so I figure we get out of the way some predictions. You guys know this is a leap year.
I actually just found out today.
Yeah. Leap year, there's February 28th, February 28th, February 28th, and then the next year there's February 29th. So there's an extra a day of the year. What do you think about that, Johnny? Tell me what your leap
I'm pretty
year thoughts.
Excited. Like, I guess I didn't know.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find a lighter. If anybody's got one.
Yeah, right here.
That'd be pretty hype.
No problem.
So, like, I guess, like, it happens every 4 years, I just realized. But, like, I didn't know this 4 years ago. Like, nobody brought up that it was a leap year. Nobody said anything, and the whole year just went on through like it was normal.
2020?
2020.
Guarantee people brought it up.
Right before COVID happened.
I had to have been. That was
right
like a COVID fucking. That was a COVID leap year. Nobody even noticed. That shit just like slid right on by. But like this year, we're gonna do something like a Glassmith party, maybe. Like, I don't know. Like,
is the Glassmith gonna be open on February 29th?
Yeah,
definitely.
Every day of the year. The Glassmith is open 365 days.
366.
So this year, 366.
You overall think it's cool. I think it's 364.
What?
No, I guess I'm right.
It's 365 and a quarter. So would y'all change it? Like, would y'all rather have that extra quarter instead of it being another day every 4 years, be like an extra minute every day?
ChatGPT told me that we're doing the right thing. Like, I asked it, like, what it thought of what our situation is, and it was like, this seems right. I didn't read it in depth. It was like a really long paragraph.
That's a big leap year trying to get you.
But it was basically right.
Okay. And that's because the quarter year is is the 1 day doesn't throw us off. Like, the calendars get to stay correct. Everything is it's like
the
easy
calendar's
peasy.
correct is what it said. Like, that's as far as I got into it. It was like, I don't know. To me, it makes sense.
The 1 day is the easiest denomination. Like, you couldn't steal a week every 12 years or 50 years.
Well, I think the businesses get to make money in this way. Like, so, like, you only have 365 days in a normal year. So you can only make so much money. This year, you have 366 days in a year.
So I always hated the short months.
Make more money.
Like, as a rent payer, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I have to I have to hustle harder on 30-day months than I do on 31. 31's like an extra.
You get a day to sleep. This year you get fucking 2 days to sleep if you wanted to sleep. But like, there ain't no sleep. Money.
This is a little bit like the other conversation, right? It's like, well, it's like on average you just do the same. It's actually 365 and a quarter, right? Except that the 4 year stretch is so far. So like that 1 year could like that 1 day has a greater percentage of helping somebody than something longer, I guess, if you're looking at time. You know what I mean? Like a whole extra fucking day? Sweet. February just got easier.
My rent, like I just got an extra day in my rent that I had no clue about. Like, I guess, like
extra day of work, too. Like, if you wanted to hit overtime, you have a whole extra day to hit overtime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a day that doesn't normally exist. I don't know how that works on overtime because it's every 2 weeks. So you're just throwing an extra day in. So, like, maybe it wouldn't help your overtime.
Is overtime calculated on 2 weeks or 1 week?
1 week.
Okay.
So, but that week doesn't get longer.
So
the week is still 7 days.
Work? Like a 29-day month, or even 30, just normally. So, like, we work for a week, we work for a week, work for a week. Does that last, like if there's like a 3-day stretch that isn't a week, like, is that just money that
I think that rolls into the next one.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I just think it's wild that, like, we can take the calendar, something so, like, solid and concrete as, like, quite literally, like, time, I guess, and just be like, one more.
No,
and
but
for
that's
one
what's
extra
fixing
day, everyone is collectively just like, oh, it's still February.
Like, yeah, but, like, that's, like, our calendar works on 365 and a quarter days. Like, that's, like, the fix.
Like, you're sure?
Well, like, that's what scientists tell me.
Like that's what the
what
like.
scientists you talk to?
Like the scientific community says that.
So the sun.
I
It's
don't-
all
I don't
about.
think it's like a hugely.
It's all
disputed
about
thing.
like the solstices, right? Like so, like on the December 21st, that's the shortest day of the year, and the leap year day is what continues to make December 21st the shortest day of the year. Without it, December 21st would no longer be the shortest day of the year, because December 21st is actually the shortest day of the year. See what I mean?
But doesn't. I don't know for sure on that. Like I know that the winter solstice is supposed to be the shortest day of the year, but
I think
like,
I agree with you.
But like, yeah, because it takes 365 and a quarter days for us to go around the sun, and so like that's why they add the extra day just to like even it out, because otherwise everything will slowly get off track, and that sets us back. Like we get a little bit off track, a little bit off track, a little bit off track. We have an extra day, and it sets
And
us
then
back
it
to being
re-ups
on track.
us. I wonder if there's any complaints like daylight savings time associated with like the
Oh,
day.
like do people just like think we should quit doing a leap year?
Or is there like some sort of like Mercury retrograde, like some sort of fucking thing that happens to people because of this extra day? Like daylight savings is so abrupt that we all are like, daylight savings.
I guess you get paid less if you get paid a fixed amount. Like
Oh,
a
your
salary,
salary just
you make
dropped.
less money
Yeah, it's assumed that you work however many hours, and so you
for
get this amount of salary
365 days.
So your salary, do you make less?
So you make less
this
money.
year.
That's sick.
Yeah.
It's all for the business, man. You know what I mean?
Glassmith.
That's it. All right. So going around the table in a word, Kurt, leap year, yes or no?
Yes.
Keller?
Yeah, why not?
Johnny?
No,
Me, I'm like, I think it's a yes.
I
I'm like,
switched on it.
Let's fucking
ChatGPT said yes.
let's
Johnny,
switch it
no.
up. I actually think it'd be better if we did a different length of year every year, like 367, 361, 362,
It's like a
and then
roll
we
of the
wouldn't
dice.
know what the fuck was happening. Anyway, so let's get into some predictions. Let's start this shit hard, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is politics. Let's start with you, Keller. Who's gonna be president at the end of the year? Like, who's winning the election? Or actually, who's gonna be president? Election winner aside.
I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure what our options are. It seems like they're changing every day now.
Do you think it'll be Biden or Trump?
I hope not. I really hope not. But like, no. I think-
Neither of them.
If I have to pick between the two, I think Biden for sure. I think Trump might not even be an option. But if he is, God, I hope people are smarter than to go back to whatever type of fucked up fever dream the last 4 years was.
So to pin you down, like if you were gonna say, I think somebody's gonna be president, it would be Biden. All right.
Probably Biden, unless they're like, I just haven't heard of any other Democratic candidate that's like likely.
Why you think Democrat over Republican or Trump?
Oh, because the party's so split right now. Like you have part of the party that's like forever Trumpies. You have part of the party who thinks that he's crazy. And so like if he ends up being the candidate, you just lose a large part of the Republican Party. But if he's not the candidate, you just lose a large part of the Republican Party.
I think it's gonna be Trump. Like I'm like
Even with the
Biden's.
indictments
Well,
and
like
stuff happening
I
right now?
think like not trying to go into a too hot one of a thing, but like my friends on Facebook are they're really up in arms about Biden. Like they hate this Gaza shit. They don't like the foreign policy really bothers them. It's like he's just part of the overall machine. So like I would love to say Biden or any Democrat or even Kennedy, but I think actually Trump's just gonna fucking win.
Interesting.
Do you follow like a vast variety of people, or is it like you follow like one group of people on Facebook? I guess.
Well,
is that question.
Facebook consists of people I know, and people I know are incredibly liberal.
Okay.
So if somebody that's incredibly liberal only has the option to vote, like it's either Biden or like some fucking
Well,
weird
but
candidate.
Trump's just gonna, like, those people wouldn't support Trump though, because Trump's just gonna keep funding Israel.
But
right?
they might not vote. I think Republicans are going to vote no matter. Like the same drumbeat of
yeah.
everything, like the border
Yeah.
or things they don't like or wars, right? Like so, like the Republicans have figured out how to be anti-war, which is really attractive to anybody that hates war. Which is like that used to be like that used to be Democrat shit. Like Republicans were the war party. So Johnny, who'd you say you thought was going to win?
I didn't. I don't really know. I don't follow much about anything. I watch TikTok a lot, and my TikTok does not consist of politics.
No politics at all.
Not almost zero. Like
And
it's
they're
weird.
not short videos
Well,
either.
so I believe that my TikTok consists of like the stuff that I really pay a lot of attention to, and I think that stuff I might just skip over. Like if like it has come up, I've just like completely just like next thing. But I would hope neither of the two options that I know of. Like so like I know of Biden, I know of Trump. I don't think either of them really should be the president. I mean, just looking at the two, but like one of them obviously more than the other.
Do you think it'll be one of them?
I hope not. I bet if it is, it's probably Trump.
Why do you hope not on either of them?
Well, I don't think either of them fit into like my demographic and like the type of person at which I am and like the beliefs that I have. I think that like I want better for me and for like everybody that comes after me, and it seems like they just want better for them and what's going on now. I don't know that I follow much about like their personal beliefs or like what they do exactly. But, like I know that they aren't hip with what's going on around me. They aren't hip with what's going on like in the places in which I live or the places like that I know about people that live. So like that's my opinion.
Well, what do you think?
About what he just said?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't follow politics super, and so I was kind of just curious from like it's not, at least as far as I've known Johnny, not like super.
Wait, so you
his
follow
thing.
politics a lot?
Not recently, but like generally speaking.
Do you think these guys connect with you? Like, do you think they like have like you're looking around, you're like, man, they seem like they're doing better on the things that actually affect the day-to-day life?
Day to day of me, no, but like policies, I like I want to say Biden upped the child tax credit, which I think is super important because I think that's like kind of facilitating the growth of the next generation of people, which is probably really important. And then like he seems to move a little bit in the direction of some climate change stuff more than Republican presidents have in the past, which is important. Obviously, like there's arguments, could he do more, could he do less, and like little things like that. But then I think in general, like the president's ability to enact change is way lower than anyone like likes to think. And so I think like what they can do, they do a lot of, but really it's up to Congress.
Does it bother you that your choice is like that you don't have more of like a magnanimous leader, like somebody with a little bit more like oomph to him, like if like they like the decisions that you like, things that you like are happening, I guess, right? Like you said, Biden's done this, Biden's done that. So I look at Biden as like an experienced political experienced politically. So like, do you feel that same way, or would you rather like a younger, fresher candidate? Like I guess
I
like,
don't
or
know
do
if
you
I
like
care
like
about the age of
doesn't
the
matter
candidate.
if he's stodgy or old as long as shit is getting done?
Yeah, and as long as it's stuff I either care about or is adjacent to what I care about.
And you think it's going to be Biden or Trump? Like you wouldn't bet
I
on
would
the
actually,
field outside
I
of
almost feel, I don't know anything about the Republican candidates, but I almost feel like Trump almost won't end up as a nominee.
Really?
No way.
But only because everything on my side of the internet, everything I've heard is that all of his court cases right now look really bad for him. And so, like, if all that stuff's true, which I don't know, I haven't read any of the indictments, I haven't followed any of the cases, but if that's true, then there's a chance he's not even on the ballot. Like, he's just not allowed to be. Which, if that's the case, then obviously he won't be, but I just don't know.
That'd be super interesting.
It would be crazy. But I think Colorado's voted on, or not voted, but they're going through the cases right now, I think, to take him off the ballot. Right?
I think, like you said earlier, though, our real issue would be like the people in the Congress. Like I follow this one dude who was in Congress for like a little bit or something. I don't actually know. I do know that he was. I believe he was in the Congress, and then he stopped being. They like kicked him out. Sounds crazy.
I think I know
But
who
he
you're
was,
talking
yeah,
about.
right. And
More
he
about
said
this.
that everybody in Congress like is like the ones that you see on TV are just doing it all for show. Like every single thing that they're doing, they're just doing it for attention. The more likes they get, the more money they make.
Yeah, but that's like a
He's talking about my
politician's job.
favorite politician. What's my homie's name? Santos.
Yeah, the younger dude.
So George Santos
No,
He's. Oh my
is
God.
just
I gotta find.
anyway.
Well, but that's like so a politician.
Well, he's the only one getting
Why do I
kicked
hear
out.
myself?
No, Johnny turned on his phone.
Oh,
He was trying to TikTok, but you know, it goes on. It turns on right away.
Sorry.
I had to mute
no,
mine.
but like the job of a politician is to do what the people who voted on them want. Like their job isn't to follow their beliefs at all. It's to do what gets them elected because they're just supposed to represent the people who elected.
Hypothetically, the will of the people.
Yeah, that's like the end goal. And so like
Jeff Jackson.
Jeff Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard
Rep
of
Jeff
him.
Jackson, yeah.
This young ass dude.
Huh. Okay.
He was a congressman.
I
What
like
is it
that. I
like?
like his TikTok scripting.
Dude, he's got 2.5 million views.
You want
What?
me to stretch it out?
Stretch what out? Hold the paper up?
Picture of Jeff Jackson right there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, Jeff
I
Jackson.
love your TikTok videos.
Jeff
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's a-
dude,
he's
shout
big,
out,
huge fan
shout
of his
out.
TikTok videos. Like he's got like 2-something million subscribers.
All right, so let's get
TikTok
out of this
followers?
politics real quick with a couple quick ones. What do you think is going to happen, Kurt, with women's right to choose? Like, do you think
I don't think anything will change.
you think it stays? You think we stay pat from what just happened from last year?
Yeah, I would be willing to bet like $1,000 that the Supreme Court doesn't change any of its decisions.
Supreme Court doesn't change, so
Like it stays up to the state.
I guess
it would
my
be
prediction
crazy
would
if
be
it
that
changed.
more states codify. Like when the election comes up, any state that puts it on the ballot is gonna go that direction. So it's like if
okay.
if a state that's thinking about making abortion illegal or one that's legal, I think that's gonna tip towards legal in every state.
Oh, okay. I follow.
Keller, what you think?
I hope people get angrier. You know what I mean? Like, don't let it get swept under the rug. Or,
Oh, no complacency.
yeah, like keep it fresh, keep it
keep the
current.
mo
of,
going.
Like, yes, hello, can we please do something about this?
So you feel how I feel, or you think it'll kind of like you think there could be a kind of a back like the pendulum swings the other way. Like they just made it like they went one way, and now it's going the other way where the states are kind of choosing to say we want to do this on our own.
It would be nice if some states would, but I don't think this is the year for it. I feel like there are bigger things
Okay.
going on, not necessarily that I agree are bigger, but like it's an election year and all this other stuff is going down. So
Got you. Johnny, good feelings?
I have good feelings. Yeah, what you gotta have good hopes for good things to happen. Like you can't like, I guess like, you
Optimism
can't-
runs the day.
Yeah, optimism. Like everybody's gotta hope for something to happen. I guess.
So
It would be interesting to see if in 2024 Democrats win Senate, House, and presidency if we end up getting the legislation that everyone's been talking about. Like that would be kind of
just
that
like
would
all
be
the
interesting.
all the
Yeah.
holdout
I don't know.
Republicans fold over.
Yeah, and then like there's even been some Republicans as we've been getting closer to the 2024 election that it feels like they're not easing up, but like easing up a little bit. Like where at one point they were like any abortion's wrong. Now they're kind of like, well, like at 14 weeks it might not be that bad.
I think Trump's gonna come out against it,
Oh.
like not against abortion, like against abortion bans. Like I think he's gonna try to he's gonna try to steal
What?
voters using
I don't-
abortion as one of his issues versus other Republicans.
Interesting.
All
That'd
right,
be kind of cool.
I got another one,
he would at
Johnny.
least
What do you
accomplish
think?
something.
What do you think about LGBTQ stuff? Like all the kind of what's happening.
Stuff.
Like I say stuff in. Sorry about that. I say stuff in. Is there going to be more rights given, or some of the rights that have been given going to be taken away? Do you see
I
a
don't see
significant
that slowing
backlash
down
from
at
what was
all. I
happening?
feel like more rights are gonna be given.
And so you're not necessarily looking at the backlash that I see on my
I don't-
Twitter or my.
I have no clue anything like that.
You only see progress.
Well, I only see what's in, I literally only see what's in front of me. Like I only just recently met a couple of people that go by they them pronouns. Like they're the first people that I've met like that. But I've been like I'm down with it. Like, I
So you
that's
think
cool.
the wave will continue and won't be stuttered?
I'd
It won't
hope
be
so.
stunted.
Yeah, and I've like I hang out with them, like I've seen them a lot, and like the way they interact with people, and I've noticed like people seem to be very accepting. Like
We're
more,
also in Austin.
well, yeah, but like I was in Austin here a couple of years ago, and it wasn't even like necessarily like that. It was a little bit less, like more like stingy, and then now it's like more like super opening.
Kurt, you feel the same way? Same prediction? More openness or blowback from the amount of openness we experienced in 2023?
Yeah, I don't know nationally. Like I feel like within like the community that we're in, I only see the amount of acceptance growing, but I don't know about nationally. I don't know. That's like a weird one to take a guess on. What are you
Huh.
doing?
Oh, I just need a pen.
Here, I got extras if he keeps throwing away from me.
You don't need tape.
You don't need a pen.
Yeah, pen, so I can mark
What have
off
you
I'm
written
doing.
down? What have you written
I haven't
down?
got to
You
any
see that
notes
scribble
yet,
you
but
made?
I might. Yeah, like, see this? Anyways, okay,
Y'all can
Keller?
watch it back and watch him never use the
Yeah, I
pen.
agree. Here in Austin, for sure.
Yeah.
I think, and like, not to be morbid, okay, but nationwide, my guess, I feel like hopefully things like this keep going in the right direction. I feel like the generation of people who really had issues with this, they're getting really old.
That seems to be the way to me. Like it seems like
So-
from what I see, like the blowback on right wing media that I see towards LGBTQ seems to be lessening. Like it's becoming less marketable. Like I do see the dude Dave Chappelle can't quit. Like he just like it's like every
I haven't seen this new.
everything he does is like a double down. It's almost like I'm not even gonna watch it but like I guess that goes to the other point. It's like I'm so much less interested in seeing something that I used to be so interested in seeing. Like a new Dave Chappelle comedy special dropped. I had to watch it. Like I'd be like, oh, the LGBTQ stuff aside, I'll just kind of like pass it by. Now it seems to be like the whole focus. So I'm like, well, I don't know if it is. It just like the loudness of it seems. So I think that I guess I'm in agreement. I think that'll continue. I got one more on this politics thing, guys. Kurt, what happens in Ukraine?
I have no clue what's going on.
Wrong table.
I'm also not educated on this matter.
I do feel like I don't feel great like telling you I don't know what's going on, but like I can tell you everything's going on with the Glassmith.
So you think so I guess let me ask it a different way. The foreign wars that are happening will continue to ride out as they have, or the kind of the new push to end wars.
I think
will
we'd have
gain
to
steam.
know about.
What do you mean as they have?
But like,
Well, like, for a long-
there's been little to no foreign intervention aside from like funding. Like there's been no like the
I don't
U.S.
even
hasn't
know
entered
that.
into Ukraine. U.S. hasn't entered.
Well,
into
yeah, but we
Israel.
constantly are just spending money on war everywhere,
Yeah.
and like we're like we see the peak on. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we
we
see
should
what's
got rid of
happening
that.
on it. What the marker?
You should have used your marker.
No, the
Oh,
Ukraine.
you
You're
guys.
it's a
so,
stump
Well,
nose.
it's just hard to have a conversation about it because like literally, you could have told me it ended.
You could have told me it just started.
got you. All right. So now that we're out of politics, I guess we're kind of staying in politics a little bit. I was curious about what y'all's thought was what's going to happen in the business and tech world. Like, do you have any predictions on the future of what's going to happen in business and tech? Like, say, like, Elon is trying to go to the moon, or like or shooting shit into space. We got Starlink. We got fucking Teslas everywhere.
Starlink's badass.
Is Elon Musk going to continue his run as like the greatest entrepreneur of our lifetime, or is that going to fizzle?
I think so. Cybertrucks go out this year to the public. So
Oh, I just saw one drive down the road earlier, and I got really excited.
they're so cool.
They're pretty weird looking.
They're
but
so
really
cool.
They're really. It looks like a spaceship tank.
Dude, I
thing,
saw him hit
but,
that shit with a
like-
big ass hammer.
Yeah.
Didn't do nothing.
They're-
It's made out of the same stuff like my mom's fridge is made out of.
Would you guys?
Elon must have a really
Would
cool
you
fridge.
guys buy one?
Absolutely.
I don't have the money.
If I had them,
Yeah.
like maybe Billy will get
Like
us
it's
all
something
one.
you guys would ride, or it's something
Yeah,
you would ride
if
in.
we all
Yeah,
say
if
yes,
you
we
got
can
a
say
shop
this
one,
No.
I'd be pretty high.
You
The
can-
Glassmith
you can
It
It's
goes
a
fast
Cybertruck.
as
Glassmith.
fuck.
And so are you? So I know you guys were pretty unaware of foreign wars. Do you guys know what's going on with like you're aware of Elon Musk stuff?
No.
Like Tesla things?
I do know like slightly there's like something that's going on, like all of the Teslas getting recalled, any of the ones like with self-driving, I think. Like there's something about the self-driving that's getting recalled because
Really?
something went wrong, but like it's like a fuck ton of Teslas are getting recalled.
You don't follow like the anti-Semitism or like great replacement theory shit like that he's kind of into?
No clue
What?
anything about that. I don't know much
No,
about
like,
Elon.
I saw
You're asking
he,
about
like,
Tesla,
he, like, tweeted
or are you
something
asking about
it,
Elon?
and then
Well,
he
kind
did
of
a whole
both.
retraction
Like I'm
thing.
saying, we got this company Tesla, which is like the most forward-thinking company in the world.
Yeah, but like I
The
couldn't
owner
tell
is
you
the
who
richest.
owns
The
my
owner is
phone.
the richest person in the world, but also the owner of the company who's running the most forward-thinking company in the world is also been accused of a lot of backwards thinking, and then he's
I
also
think this is a
associated
great
himself.
episode about how non-woke we are, like, cause like I couldn't tell you any of that. Like
Well,
I know
not woke, but, like,
I don't even know.
non-following.
I don't know who owns Apple, and I'm a huge fan of my phone. Don't get me wrong.
Tim Cook.
Well, nobody owns
He's the
Apple.
CEO.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
anything about the people. Like, and like same with like Tesla. Like, I can tell you like a lot about like the Tesla car. I'm kind of like I'd be really hyped to have
So
one.
technologically, you think Tesla continues to dominate?
Yeah, that's like the opinion I have
even
with
with
Tesla.
the, even
but then,
with the recall, that's even with like recall you're talking about. The
oh,
guy which I don't know anything
I
about.
bet it comes back harder. Dude, Blue Belt, whenever it had like that big issue, Bluebell came back as like a way bigger company.
What big issue? The girl licking the ice cream in the
No,
stores?
Bluebell had salmonella, and they were gone for like 6 months.
For like
It was
years.
in vanilla
Really?
too. It was a big.
Yeah, they
Oh,
got shut down.
I was,
They got-
like,
they got
so
shut down. They got
depressed.
shut down
Yeah.
twice.
Huh.
Yeah, but then like it
Interesting.
came back bigger than fucking ever, and now they're like this huge company. You can't go anywhere with that Bluebell.
I agree, and like at least they're smart enough to recall it. You know, like when other companies tried to do what they're doing now in the past, like BMW, they like killed a bunch of people. As far as I know, that hasn't happened with Tesla.
Okay. So I got another one for you, Johnny. You just mentioned Apple. What do you see Apple doing in the next year? Like, what kind of technological advancements are you looking at from your favorite
So like
technology company?
this past year, they just came out with these goggles,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping that like they come out with like a more affordable, like more like pair that can start getting in people's hands, or they at least start talking about a pair that can get into people's hands. And then I know there's been like some very slight talk about a car, and that sounds bad.
Yeah, those things are pretty speculative. You think either one of those things will happen?
I would think that we would get some more speculation, maybe even like a confirmation about one of the two, but probably maybe. I would say maybe.
So you think
A
at the
decent
next
chance.
Apple? You think at the next Apple event there's a 50-50
I'd say it'd be like the last
on the
Apple
Apple
event.
car?
Last Apple event of the year.
How many Apple events are there a year?
2.
What?
Yeah,
There's
no
like
idea.
6.
Not what the big like keynotes. There's one in the
Okay.
spring and one in the fall.
Yeah, so I think like the second keynote they would have like, so they would maybe like talk about an Apple car, or be like, oh, we got an Apple car in the works.
Kurt, Apple upgrade or next Apple meetings are just about the iPhone 16?
Oh, just with the iPhone. Like iPhone, maybe a new Mac, or maybe, like they just came out with the M3, right?
They've already done the new Mac for this year, and it is, oh my god, it's so cool.
And then like maybe something cool.
2024 Mac is out now.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if it's the
What?
2024 Mac, but it's the
The
latest
new-
Mac.
Well, they won't
new-
put another one
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
No.
They
Like
won't-
they-
2024
that's, like,
won't
longer
have
than
like a
No.
huge upgrade.
Do you see any huge...
Hopefully iPad. That's my big like. The
An upgraded iPad or a revolutionary iPad? Is Apple going to do anything like
Same iPad, new OS. Like they have iPad OS, but iPad OS is super limited because I can only download the shitty apps that I can get on my iPhone. Whereas like the processor for it could be like it couldn't be editing apps the same way as his laptop does, or editing videos. But they could allow it to use apps that could edit it at a much higher level than it
You could do
can.
like
And you think-
ChatGPT better.
No, that's all.
You
up to the
think that
servers.
will happen?
Okay.
I think that this. Yeah, I think
Don't
that
know
this
much
year
about
they'll
how
make
ChatGPT
at least some
works.
change. I don't know. I don't really have a good reason to think that, but like it's just been a thing that people have been talking about for a while. And iPad OS came out, I think, 2, maybe 3 years ago, and it kind of just seems like it's coming. And I'm really fingers crossed. I'll
Okay.
buy a new iPad if they do.
I don't know how they could make the one that's out now like
Better, the
like,
iPad or the operating
I feel like
system?
that's the point of it, right? Is like if you don't want to go all the way and buy a Mac, you can buy this iPad. That's why they call it
But
a
what
Pro,
if you
'cause
could
it's
do both?
basically like a supercomputer supposedly.
Yeah, but like the operating system just limits it right now. Like because you can't just download an app on it, you can't get like Premiere. But they could make it like It would either be that Apple makes some big different change to where you could download better apps or apps could develop apps better for it, or like Adobe will come out with more editing softwares because like the editing capabilities on an iPad right now are really really limited. But like it's only limited because of the software available to you. So like I think that'll be like that's where I think that the iPad's gonna grow this year. I guess I don't have a good reason to think that. It's
There's
pure
no murmurs or
speculation.
anything. This is just what you
This
like.
is
If you
just
were
like-
Apple, this is what you would do.
Yeah, that's like the next big push. Other than like maybe a car or the Vision, the goggles are so.
You
cool.
think goggles are cool too?
I think the goggles are
Oh,
Kelly,
so
okay,
cool.
so Kelly, what's
Yeah, I'm shocked. you
so
think they're
Google's cool. What's the Apple prediction? Major move, stand pat, or like what's gonna happen?
They've got to do, I feel like, at least one thing. And I feel like that's going to be probably the VR headset. It's
Well, wasn't the VR headset the thing of last year?
no. Like
That was
I don't think you can buy one yet.
Yeah, you can get.
Yeah.
one.
Can
You can.
yeah.
get
They're
one.
just hella expensive, like 33.
But
Not
they're gonna
30,000, 3,000,
they're gonna
3,600
make
bucks.
one that can be in our hands.
So you've heard, or this is what you speculate.
Well, they said whenever they released that one that this is like their like
The
essentially
demo.
like all of their things they always release like their prototype, their finished developed product, but it's like the prototype. It's always more expensive. Like that new like there's some big new Mac thing. Like it's like the cheese grater looking thing, but the newer one. They couldn't do something that all the rest have never been able to do, and then so now it's like crazy expensive.
it's like $6,000 or something like that. It's wild.
but
Oh,
it's
so
just
the last one you
it's
could upgrade
just
it
while
to
it's just
50,000
while they're like
views.
finalizing everything so
So
that they can make it better.
I guess my overall prediction with Apple is that basically their technology is, I wouldn't say stalled, but it's kind of peaked. Like the iPhone 15, all the sales numbers were down. So they have to keep releasing. But I would imagine that they're going to dump hella like stuff. Like dump like and get rid of. Like Google, like Apple Maps might just go away. Like they'll just start
I
cutting.
hope so.
I hope
They'll
not.
start cutting.
Awesome.
I think
I
they're
would be
gonna start.
so high.
I think they're gonna start cutting dead weight off of their company, like all the rest of the companies have, because the stock price going up is the most important thing to Apple.
When they make more money to collab with Google for like they originally collab with Google for the maps, then they like refused to pay Google for some money for it, and then Google took their shit back.
So people think that their hardware, like the hardware with the iPhone, is gonna take a little bit of a dive for a little bit, which is why I think that they'll cut costs hardcore. Which means like some of the technological stuff they're working on, like I think Apple's working on their own chips, and they're probably working on with some like deals, like we're talking about the car. Like the car is gonna be a fucking Kia or Toyota or Mazda, some shit that has the Apple logo on it, rather than being an Apple produced hardware.
so
it's
like
like,
white label.
so I see more licensing and more collabs versus some sort of fucking revolutionary new
That'd be a
tech.
really
I
smart
like
way
your
to do it.
opinion, but I disagree with that being a reality.
That works. All right, so let's move into something a little bit. What's that say? That's how long we've been at this?
You should just throw up like 30 or just say.
Or just say 30
Yeah, why
minutes
we got a
in.
clock out here, producer? Okay,
So we have a
anyway,
producer.
let's take a
Oh,
take a
shit,
quick
Taylor.
break.
An intermission.
Let's
No,
take
there's
a
no
quick
clock.
break and we'll get right back to it.
All right, guys.
We're back.
So thank
All
you
right.
for joining us.
All
again.
right,
All
okay.
I don't know
Okay,
where
all right.
everybody went, but we're back.
So we're gonna be talking about legalization of cannabis.
Yeah, we'll
and-
just we're not
Just
really talking about
legalization.
legalization. We're just running our quick predictions.
Okay.
Not too long. Like we got, I think in the first part of this, we really got broken down on this leap year thing. Like we had quite a back and forth. So anyway, let's start right with you, Kurt. Legalization nationwide. This is gonna happen in 2024 or not?
No. Good fucking going. He set his timer for a minute.
Okay, so you don't. Oh,
Really struggling. Are you gonna turn it off or are you just playing there?
turn off.
it's broken.
I did set a fucking stopwatch, you dickhead. I don't know what happened there. Shit was weird.
But yeah, I think that it will not get legalized, but I think that if the Democratic Party really wanted to win, they'd legalize it.
Keller, legalization 2024.
I don't think anything will move with it. Like, probably not.
You think we stand pat?
Probably.
Johnny, okay. Speak up,
What?
sir.
No, I just we can't keep on saying nothing's gonna happen on anything. Like we gotta hope for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
don't think it'll
optimism.
happen. I'm
Both
optimism.
of y'all had zero optimism in your voice about it.
Well,
So
yeah,
it's
I
like,
hope it
well, I don't
happens,
think
but-
anything's
So
gonna
I'll run
happen.
this right
I
back
don't
to
think anything.
the women's rights issue. Is I think this is going to be heavily important in the election, and
I
it's
hope so.
2024. This is an election year, so it's like where there wasn't a lot of thought about movement on women's right to choose. I think it's going to be on the ballot in a bunch of states because Biden wants to win the election. I think marijuana legalization will be heavy on ballots. Any little groups that are left that are trying to get shit legalized are going to try to throw it on their ballot to get whatever side they're on elected.
Yeah, I think a big part of it would be I don't know where I went.
So do you guys see? And I'll roll these two topics kind of into one. Do you see the THCA as a undercover legalization? Do you think it'll
Yeah.
roll? So prediction? Do you think it'll roll back, or do you think it'll continue forward, or will it stay the same?
I hope it stays the same. I feel like, it wasn't not necessarily an accident, but maybe they didn't know what they were doing when they did it. So I hope they don't come to that realization.
They just
necessarily.
allow it to continue.
You're saying that if weed becomes legal, will THCA still be legal?
No, well, do you see THCA as an advancement in the legalization of marijuana?
Yeah, right direction for sure. But I've also
Yes.
seen that with THCA specifically, states where it is legal, they're weed, yes, THCA, no.
Yeah, I think that New Mexico or Arizona, one of those two, banned THCA. I don't know if I've heard of others.
Johnny, more feelings on the topic? Legalization?
I hope,
THCA?
dude.
What's your opinion on THCA going forward through the year? You think it's a rollback from state to state? Do you think it's an advancement? Like I was saying about my hometown, Silver City, New Mexico, where you said is a legal state. There now has moved. In a really small town. Now has moved a hemp dealer, which is selling THCA in competition with all the local dispensaries. So I'm kind of looking at that as like, wow, that's a real advancement. You know, my other homie in Arizona has been unwilling to move into THCA because he's worried about the blowback from the legality. You think there'll be more or less of that?
Less blowback. Like I would hopefully like we would be able to do more with worrying less. Hopefully like the government would, as opposed to making something legal, make less illegal. I think that's more of the goal lately. Like they're not trying to tell you that you can go and do this, but they're trying to tell you we're not gonna be dickheads to you if you do this. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna lock you up. We're not gonna search your car. We're not gonna fucking pull you over for bullshit stuff and then arrest you for that. You know what I'm saying? I hope that that's more the way that it's headed towards, especially this year. Like so, the way with THCA legalizing. That would have been crazy. That would have been crazy if someone came out.
Did you say someone?
Something.
Oh.
Maybe I said someone.
She took out the first one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's only 2 left in this box.
Well, you got...
It was supporting, but like same with this box.
All right.
That way, bottom box, just pull one to the front. Then they support each other.
Problem solved. Don't worry, guys.
So I kind of think they're going to make it, like, I guess my overall prediction was that it's going to be so murky this year. Like, throughout the whole year, it's just going to be like, well, like Biden just pardoned all all minor marijuana possession from the past. Doesn't that mean that federally, that means they're not going to prosecute any marijuana possession in the future? So, like, no marijuana possession is going to be prosecuted federally at all. Now, I don't know how long it's been since no marijuana has been prosecuted. But that's basically, like, the government saying, we don't give a fuck about anything small anymore.
We're just looking at the big shit.
And so that's almost like open season. So my, overall, I guess my opinion is that it'll continue to be murkier and murkier, and there'll be more and more places to buy marijuana in both legal and illegal states.
Well, it's cool today. Like we were looking at what, like pounds and pounds and pounds in fucking bags.
Yeah.
Like what? That was just like
even
like
a major
you
distributor.
you had to go to the trap house before to see that much bud just sitting in front of you.
Yeah, and I was out just like anybody could
Oh,
walk in and
there
grab
was just
some.
a random fucking stranger that had just walked in there that was just looking right at it with me, and I was just like, "This is crazy." You're right.
What Keller, are you seeing any new trends in the industry this year, like in the marijuana, like in the cannabis world? Do you think anything will be different than it was in the years past, or just a continuation?
I don't know. I can't think of, I feel like that's the one thing that I've learned from working here is that like in our world, if you can think of it, like it's probably out there in some shape or form. So I don't know, it's already so
Like
hard to
more and
grab,
more
walking up and down the aisles at, places like where we go, it's like, oh my God. So I don't know how they could.
I agree. I think my prediction is more and more just an ever-growing expansion of stuff to buy and sell.
Stuff is a good word.
Pre-rolls. Like pre-rolls are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Everybody's got a pre-roll now, and everyone that's realizing they're like, "Oh fuck, we don't have a pre-roll yet. We got to get a pre-roll." Like I'm surprised Sweet Sensei hasn't come out with a pre-roll yet. Every single person's like getting in on the pre-roll game.
And you think like more like just a little bit more like as we're saying more and more like right now we have infused on the inside
And infused
with keef. We have keef on the outside. We have backwoods that are rolled.
Oh, the backwoods are awesome.
And
the
so you just see a
Dankwoods.
continuation of that.
Yeah, like it seems like people are actually getting smarter. Like
back to smoking.
I
If you were
would
to call a trend out.
low key, I'd kind of hope so. Like it would be cool for someone to come out with like an actual hand rolled joint, like a hand rolled pre roll. That would be pretty nifty versus like all of the like. I'm not horribly shitty on the cones. I've recently changed my opinion on the cones, but I do think that it'd be cool if they came out with like some hand rolled shit.
Kurt, any upcoming thoughts? You see anything taking off?
No, I feel like the only thing I feel like is there's like a move more to like, I don't know, I feel like I didn't see a ton of people smoking joints, and now that pre-rolls are so accessible, everyone's smoking joints. And then I feel like there's a growth in knowledge of like the base weed user of wax. Like, because you can go to a smoke shop and get wax now, like it feels like I thought wax was gonna go kind of start going down some, and I feel like now it's about to start going back up, because you can go anywhere and buy like decent concentrate. But those are the only two. Like, I don't know if it's a trend necessarily as much as like, I don't know. It just feels like way more people smoking joints.
That's how I felt. A lot of joints. Like, just like, holy shit, I didn't know. I thought that was kind of out. Like, I thought everything was moving to electric. And then I thought everything was, like, just the idea of pre-rolls versus carts. It's been crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, who would have fucking thought that many people wanted to smoke old school? But I get it.
I also feel like it could be, like, I'd be interested if shops in Dallas see the same thing. Like, I would not buy a joint in Dallas and then walk down the street and smoke it. But here, I totally would.
Feel way more comfortable smoking outside.
Oh, way more comfortable in Austin.
Yeah, Dallas, Fort Worth, Colleyville, fuck all that.
Yeah, fuck that. Like, I don't know. Like, I just imagine that if you go to a park in, like, I don't know, anywhere in, like, the Dallas-Fort Worth suburb area. So, like, you have, like, Hearst, Keller, all those areas. It's, like, way more sus. Like, you smell weed in the park, and people are probably like, what the fuck? Whereas here, it's like, you could be walking on the street, and you kind of, like, you just might smell it. No one really thinks anything of it.
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
I think I disagree, though. Like, last time I went through Fort Worth, it was just reeked.
No, I'm not talking about Fort Worth, though. I'm talking about, like, the suburb.
In Fort Worth
areas.
proper, yeah. It's like all the areas around.
Alright, so let me be more specific. Last time I was in Crowley, it fucking reeked. Like, we went into Kroger, and, like, the fucking Kroger, like, I believe it was somebody that we parked next to, somebody was just hotboxing their car. Mm-hmm. It's like we walked by and it was just like, whoa, like I can't believe they're just sitting here hotboxing their car.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong then, but I would not feel comfortable in those areas smoking in public versus in Austin where like.
I do feel more comfortable here, but like I don't know that necessarily there changes the my comfortability.
You're also an exception.
So you think that would lead me to my last one real quick on this subject. You think Texas just becomes, like, there is no blowback in Texas specific?
I think Texas
we continue to move towards legality.
We continue to move towards legality, as well as, like, I mean, not to, like, to say that everybody's not, like, paying attention, but I think that I'm paying attention more than the average individual. Like, I'm not, like, I've actually been, like, we definitely, like, at this table have been paying attention to all of these new laws, and, like, specifically to, like, what they've made illegal and what they're not making illegal right now. And they're not making this illegal, and there's no way for you to tell me that my pre-roll is not hemp. Like, there's no way for me, like, you're not, like, you can give me a ticket. I believe that's the most that they could get me with, and then, like, I can just go straight argue that. And then the fucked up thing about the situation is people are now getting paid out. Like, you go up to the courthouse, and then you end up you have to pay a lawyer, or you just pay yourself to be your lawyer. And then they end up having to pay for your lawyer costs.
So it's going to be more expensive for them.
I've only heard about
it will
like,
be for us.
Mom, but that's about it.
Got you.
I would be interested in like if you get caught with the gun and weed really, really, really bad. What if it's THCA? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get you buy your pre-roll, you hop in your car, you have your gun in your glove box, you get pulled over. Like, is that you argue it's hemp and then you're fine? Or do you think they take it to the next level?
Because I bet they have a way higher percentage of taking it to the next level. Like, commit your small crime, don't commit your big crime.
Yeah.
And so you think that Texas will roll forward, Kurt? You think there'll be a rollback? Like THCA like the way we're selling it, and almost more so. Like today we saw quarter pounds in the fucking wholesale.
That's pretty wild.
Like, you think that trend will continue or go back the other way?
I think it'll continue. I think THCA, partially because I think people think it's Delta 8. Quinn and I were talking about it before this. Like, it really seems like there's a lot of people who come up and they're like, I wish this was the real stuff. Or, like, they're like, is this, like, what is this? Like, is this knowledge like Delta
isn't
8?
Quite there yet.
Yeah, and so, like, I'm sure policymakers are aware and cops are obviously aware. But, like, because it's not the attention of your average person, I don't think that anyone really cares. But I think that if it becomes the knowledge of the average like suburban mom, then we might be worried about it, because then they're like, oh God, my kid can go to.
There's a campaign against the high school kids and such. Keller?
That's a really good point. I had never thought about it like that. But, I mean, if we've been keeping it rolling every year since 2018, I don't see why it would stop now.
Good continuation.
Yeah, because even when they've tried to stop Delta 8 stuff, it's like Hometown Hero sued, and then it just kept going.
Okay. All right. So, change of pace. Is it gonna snow this year, Keller?
I've heard yes.
I'm a firm yes.
100%.
That's snow on the ground, like 2
Like
inches
sticking-
snows overnight.
Oh,
Oh, I don't
I'm
know, 2
talking
inches.
like
Or, like,
you won't be able
leaves
to
in
pull.
here.
You won't be able to get up here.
Like you're talking this year, like before December, or like in the spring.
We're, oh, like
Because like it's the first now, so it's like we're in next year. So it's like, is it snowing like?
Oh,
before
I'm saying in the
March?
next 3 months.
yeah,
It'll
same.
snow.
I've heard like freeze.
I've heard really big worries. of
I'm
freeze.
getting fancy tires for my bike so that I
I'm
can ride in the
on-
snow.
I'm on
Wow.
that.
Now we
Hell
know he's gonna
no.
die.
Oh, I'm really excited. Like, dude, you saw the videos of the people last time in ice down here, right? Like the guys on the 4-wheelers popping the wheelies in front of the Capitol.
That's cool.
That was like badass. I thought that was like one of the coolest things. I want to be one of those people.
So I think it's not gonna snow. I think y'all are crazy as fuck. It's hot here. Do
What?
You're
are
crazy
you
as
guys
fuck.
rooting for snow? Yes.
Yes.
Some like not.
Like you'd like it to. You'd like a snow day.
I would
so
rather
love a
no
foot of
snow than get frozen in somewhere. But I
If
would
we
like
could
to
just
see
have a
snow.
nice snow day, you'd
Yeah,
like
that'd
that.
be fucking
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
opening some shop. Like
Nice
I
snow
know
day.
at least 2 shops.
If
we
you
can
pick me
open.
up on your bike, you can drive me to a shop if it
No, like
freezes
at
over.
least Kurt's
Sounds
gonna get
dangerous.
West
Sounds
Campus,
really
and then
dangerous.
I should be able to get either Six
yeah.
or Caesar.
Okay. Opposite end of the spectrum. Last summer was really hot. Kurt, what do you think is going to happen this summer? Heat? It's
No.
not going to be like that?
I
It's
have
gonna
no
be different?
predictions, to be honest.
You mean you don't
Well,
fucking care
like-
about the weather?
I'm
No,
anti-heat.
honestly,
It's like
not
the only
really.
thing you like. It's
Kurt
like
makes
shit. We
fun
want
of
to talk
people who
about
talk
fucking. We
about
want
the
to talk
weather.
about
The
Ukraine. You're
weather.
like, I don't know, man. You know.
The weather is like
Well-
one you have to give a fuck about.
Not
like,
really. Well, no, yeah,
so
but I have
you
a
can-
prediction.
you were
like, I'm
you were
not the
so
weatherman,
you
and
seem
they're wrong.
excited for
anyways.
snow like us.
Like if you watch the weatherman, they're gonna be wrong about this too. I don't know why you trust me.
So I'll go
Yeah,
ahead and
but
make
they'll
one.
be just as
I
wrong
think
as
it's
we
gonna
are.
be hot as fuck. Like
It's
I don't
always
think it's
hot.
gonna get cold this. I don't think it's gonna get cold this winter. And I think come April it's starting to start getting fucking hot, just like last summer.
I think y'all
Just,
are all
like,
fucking
brutal.
haters.
Go ahead. So what's your prediction?
No, that's just it.
What's your
Y'all are
prediction based
haters.
off of?
No summertime
predict-
thoughts.
I guess
Well, I think that it's gonna be nice and cold. I hope it's nice and cold. I
For-
hope it's in the 50s.
In the summer.
Yeah, but it's gonna be. It's gonna be. I hope. Alright. My
His
prediction is that it doesn't go above 100.
Okay, stays
that's
nice,
an actual
cool,
prediction.
Yep.
a little rainy.
Would you be willing to bet on
Rainy.
it? This is like the easiest money
Well,
ever.
No, I'm not willing to bet on it.
Oh, okay, it's not. Your
That's a very
prediction.
optimistic prediction. Kelly?
I think it goes both ways. I feel like that's like what climate change is, right? Is way more extreme seasons, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like we're gonna probably have some sort of really fucked up cold winter, and then the summer is gonna be unbearable, just like the last one was. What was
Okay.
it, like 107 or some crazy shit like that? Some days, oh,
Yeah.
Nightmare fuel.
Do you, Johnny? Do you foresee any drastic weather events happening due to climate change this year?
I don't know how climate change works.
Well, like say like something like massive, like
But I
like-
would
like
love
10,
a Jurassic weather
like
event.
5 huge
I thought he was
hurricanes.
gonna say Jurassic World.
I would love or Jurassic World, but like I would love like a huge rainfall or like a crazy snow. Like what if we got like 2 feet of snow?
2 feet.
That would be bad ass. Are you kidding me? Like just something that affects everybody equally.
Like iceberg like melting into the ocean and raising the sea levels like a foot.
No, I don't know about that shit, man. Like that, like I'm talking like are we talking like in Austin, like where we live, or are we talking like worldwide?
Worldwide, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
worldwide,
shit.
I don't fucking know. Like I believe there's like a brand new volcano somewhere that I'd be
Well, volcanoes. Anyways,
that could
Kurt,
affect
what'd you
us
think?
here. That was
Like, if you were gonna
he's
predict,
asking a
like-
shitty question, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I recently heard this theory that the reason the water level is growing isn't the icebergs, and it's all of the stuff at the bottom of rivers being slowly taken to the ocean and the ocean floor raising. I don't believe
Okay.
the theory,
Okay.
but it's an interesting one.
So no cataclysmic event, no like nothing
Oh, I
out of
hope
the
not.
ordinary cataclysmically worldwide.
Like
So
prediction or hope? Like hopefully not.
Yeah, prediction.
I don't.
Why does
have
it
a
have to be
prediction.
worldwide? Like shit don't happen
know
like
anything
necessarily
about
on a
what do I
worldwide
think?
scale.
What do I think? I think
Yeah, what
the
do you
answer.
think,
I think the answer is yes. I think usually we have like kind of like there's all this bad shit happens, right? Like there was this huge hurricane that happened in Mexico, and it's like hurricanes don't happen where it happened, right? So that's like global warming, climate change. But like nothing has just like happened. That's like holy fuck. There's no Florida left. You know what I mean? Like where it's just
That would
like
be
you know what I mean?
wild.
Like so I would
Maybe down
say
to
like
49
I would,
states.
and maybe that's not in our country, but like it could be like in India or something like that, or like Antarctica, where they talk about like these huge chunks of ice that might not be chunks of ice anymore. Well, maybe this is the year, and I'm predicting yes.
Why?
I hope that none of that shit happens.
Because they always say it's tipping point every year, tipping point. If this
And
gets
this
to
is the
this,
tipping
if this
point
gets
now?
to this.
We've
Well, it
hit
seems like we get more and more extreme every year. So why wouldn't this year be the year that like instead of one hurricane hitting Miami, it was like 3 back to back. You know what I mean? And then after it's over, you just look at it and you're like, holy fuck, what about those poor people? Because at one hurricane, you're just like, hurricane. 2 hurricanes, you're like, wow, that's unlucky. But if they just got once a week for 3 weeks, that fucking shit just smacked Miami, you'd be like, oh my god, those people move the fuck out of there. It'd be over. I think something like that's gonna happen for sure.
I don't know. But what? How do you feel? All right, so to switch it up, how do you feel on like a local level?
You think anything
Right,
bad's
do you
gonna
think
happen in
anything's gonna
Austin?
matter?
No, it's just gonna be too hot. Like we'll like power will go out a couple times in the summer because of how hot it is. But I don't think we'll blame that shit. Like people will be like, global warming. They'll be like, Greg Abbott's such an idiot. No, it's fucking say all the regular shit. But it'll be like, it wouldn't be like, what if power, like, all right. So this summer, say it was 110 for a week and power just went out. But like out. Like, and they were like, hey guys, we don't really know when power is going to come back on. And it's the middle of the summer. Like we've never seen any, like here, we've never seen anything like that before. That would count.
Okay. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well,
That would
like
be
I remember
crazy.
coming when like a couple years ago, like it rained too much in the summer, like kind of right by when ACL was, and we had to boil water for like 4 or 5 days.
Really?
And I thought that shit was pretty
Oh,
crazy.
dude, and the worst
But
part
since
was
then
I didn't
it's-
find out until like 2 days in.
But since then,
What?
but since then it's been isolated, right? Like, and a boil water notice is something like that, where it's like they're not coming around and fucking shutting water off. They're just like stop drinking it. So like they don't think it's a public hazard enough to fucking cut the pipes off. But if they did, they would. You know what I mean? We've never seen them cut the
really?
pipes.
You think they would turn off the water if it
Dude,
was
if
that
that
bad
shit
of
was
an
gonna
issue?
sicken the populace,
They said
yes.
it would like it was giving like
But
people like
yes,
horrible
but they
stomach
wouldn't,
issues.
Like
No,
horrible is
stomach
like
issues.
I gotta, you know.
Yeah, like he's talking about like if someone's gonna die potentially from drinking this water.
Yeah,
they're
like the
gonna shut
whole
off.
populace is gonna get salmonella. They'll just fucking cut that shit. They'll be like, they'll put out all the warnings. They'll fucking hit your phone like Amber Alert. Like that's why you didn't know. They didn't even fucking hit your phone.
I thought it's 'cause I lived up north, but it was like right before I started working here because I remember you told me about it. Like I figured out through you.
Well,
Yeah,
'cause
like
then,
all
and then
our.
when you started working here, you told me you were like you gotta check it constantly because they just.
But
tell
our
you.
power
Yeah,
was out.
no, I
Our
stopped
power was
checking
out.
not too long ago.
Our power was out for like 2 days as a populace in Austin. It was out 4 or 5 days for some people, and it was out like a month for like the like. Oh man, I feel bad for you. You know what I mean? But like, what if it was just a month for the whole town? You know what I mean? Like fucking A. People wouldn't be talking fucking climate change isn't the thing then.
Totally off topic, but have you heard they have rolling blackouts in parts of California?
Why? Like what from?
Like they just do. Like there's just not enough power. Like nice neighborhoods too. Like they're like 6 hours a day you don't get any Wi-Fi or any internet, electricity, whatever it's called. But like that's just it feels similar to what you're talking about. Like it's just like a crazy idea that's happened.
Right. Well, so in California, they got slowly used to it more and more. There's more people there every year. It's like a slow
Like
thing.
duh, we got
But
like,
like I'm
64
saying,
power
there's some
outages
shit
a
like
year.
where you looking at it. Like I don't know. You guys haven't been seeing what's going on in the Pacific right now. Like California has waves that are so big that it's destroying fucking massive swaths of coastline. Like all these places, like places that were on the beach are just not there anymore.
Interesting.
Just like
Well, but
crap,
see,
like
Corpus
waves,
was
just like
opposite.
fucking waves.
Like Corpus was way back.
I don't know that it might just be my lack of knowledge of how waves work, but have y'all seen like how waves are in the middle of the ocean?
Yes.
Like like that's a big part of my TikTok recently. And fuck, a wave in the ocean is like this, like those big container ships, like the biggest ships you'd see. Like it'll go all the way underneath it. Like the wave's like twice the length of the ship. Like these huge waves. Like why aren't they like at our sea? Like why aren't they at? Like why doesn't that come up to the shore?
Because that's a tsunami.
Well, yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like that's something that's got like that's a big ass wave. Like what stops that wave from like going a little bit further this
I
time?
think tides and fucking coastal reefs, like you know what I mean, like the way it
Yeah,
works is
anywhere
like
that
there's
it
these
starts to get
huge
close to the-
chasms, and then the coastal shelf is long. Hurricanes and tsunamis hit hard in places where there's a really long coastal shelf. So the Gulf doesn't have a really long coastal shelf, and there aren't so like they have a storm surge which raises it all up, but they don't have this crazy tight, like these crazy waves. Like the Pacific coast, I think, has a longer tidal shelf, which is why they have bigger waves, as well as a body of water. I know the Gulf is small, All right, so let's move off from the weather. I know we fucking really crushed that one. Global warming is not a thing around this table, y'all. Okay, so
All of your questions have required us to be a little bit more knowledge.
Yeah, we could have
Alright,
like
so
2
let's
hours
talk
of reading
about-
before this to like
let's
really,
talk
well,
about-
really, he tried to get us to like we're in a.
let's
notes
talk
thing.
about
Oh.
home, right? Let's talk
understand
about
that.
the glass. So
Home.
2023 was a really nice year for the Glassmith. You know what I mean? Well, we talked about bigger things. You know what I mean? Like politics and marijuana. So let's talk about something smaller, something that maybe we do know a little bit about.
Smaller. It's the biggest thing
So-
like in our entire
So
world.
tell me, we went from 1 to 3 in 2023, and we started a podcast. We did a couple other things. What are we about to do?
Four.
What are we about to do in 2024?
We went to 4, 1 to 4.
4. And a studio.
I think that in 2024 is going to be way less outward growth in terms of like the amount of like land we take up. We're not going to open like 6 more shops or something, I don't think. But I do think that like we're going to get way tighter as a company. We're probably going to grow more, like the amount of people seeing us is going to grow less so than like just putting ourselves places kind of a thing. So like our like online presence, both from a social media standpoint and advertising standpoint,
Event presence.
yeah, the amount of like hopefully this year we're at tons of events just from a standpoint of like people are going to see us and they're going to be like, well, there's a local place I can watch glass blowing, or there's a local place that they blow their own pipes or their own pendants, and then more
I
people
can
will just
trust
have
these
eyes on
local
us.
salespeople.
Yeah, like you come up to the table and Johnny's sitting behind it, like he's way more friendly than almost anyone that works at almost any other smoke shop. Like you're gonna be more likely to go
Other
to the
smoke shops suck. The Glassmith
A lot of
rocks.
them do, like,
not all of them.
Not all of them. There's a couple redeeming ones, but realistically, like
We like Gabe's.
that's the only one that we like.
I like all the smoke shops in Austin. Thank you.
And Abe's. Like, is Abe's not a smoke shop? in
Yeah, I
Austin?
like them too.
I just said that we like others,
Okay,
and we like Abe's.
But like, yeah, I think that that's like for us, that's one of the really big things is we have like a really, really, really cool staff. And so like if you meet someone at an event, I feel like that's where we'll pull people from instead of just like there's now 17 glassmiths.
More locations.
Yeah.
So you think we grow infrastructure, and socially more so than we will physically.
Mhm.
Keller?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, thinking about what last year looked like, I mean, yes, we opened 3 more trailers, but we went from 5 employees to 24, 25?
We had 5 employees at the
something?
beginning of last year.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 5x, 10x, some shit like that.
What, it was me, you, Johnny
No.
last year?
Yeah.
He's been here for a year.
Well, Austin's
Over a year.
been a year, so it's like we had
Austin's been a year.
Austin,
5, 6,
Desmond,
something like
Caitlin.
that.
yeah, it was
Tana.
small.
I think it was
Very
like 8.
small.
We went like 8 to 25.
Was that January? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause-
Yeah. So 8, I guess, to 25. Yeah, that's crazy. And we're getting better at this whole structure thing. We're trying to figure it out. So I think that's gonna keep getting better. Yeah. I mean, are we gonna open another truck next year?
2 more trucks.
Let's go.
You think we open 2 more trucks?
Well, so I think that we're gonna, if you want like my opinion, we're gonna consider, if we consider the events truck a truck, 2, maybe 3 more trucks. If we don't consider the events truck a truck, only 2 more trucks.
Okay.
So definitely 2 trucks and then a potential third, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so like I would hope like we like wherever our events truck sits, if it's sitting for more than like a week or 2 at a time, it's sitting making some money somewhere, parked somewhere making some money before it goes to its next event. And then hopefully that convinces Bailey that we're in a good enough spot, and then we drop a new truck there.
Johnny,
Such
can you
as-
tell me about the event truck a little bit?
Oh, the event truck's pretty badass. So like it's actually pretty cool that we're able to talk about it. We weren't able to talk about it here a couple of weeks ago. But just recently we fully acquired this truck, and it's pretty cool. Like the whole side of it's going to open up. There's going to be what we're hoping to be a big glass countertop going all the way across the front that people can purchase stuff out of or on top of. Some cool wraparound counters in the back. The front opens up with electric shocks. We've never seen anything like it. Yeah, we got a little video that's going to pop up. It's going to be like electric shock opening the door.
We'll put like the time lapse version of it.
Yeah, there's
how
a
you
quick
wish it
version
opened.
and
I
there's
was
a
thinking
long
we throw
And
one of
really,
the,
it
one of
takes
the
like
images
45
that you drew.
seconds.
Like one of the images you got
Oh,
drawn.
yeah, so like I bought a lot of like my newest inspiration for this truck and like our next trailer that we're gonna build has been from ChatGPT.
Why don't you just take the credit yourself? Like, it's a modern era. Isn't ChatGPT?
That's just a tool of yours. Yeah, you
Yeah,
come up
no.
with it, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I haven't used ChatGPT enough for it to be my thing. Like, I didn't tell it to specifically. I asked it to make my prompt. Like, I showed it pictures of like whatever, like pictures I've taken on my phone, and then I asked it to help me make a prompt based off those pictures. And then now I have like an idea on some trucks, like some that we posted, some that we're not gonna post, some that we're about to show you here.
Going a little bit back to our previous topic, how much do you think that ChatGPT is going to change like your workflow in terms of like building stuff?
Oh, I would think a lot. Like, so, like I'm not too creative. I like as far as like the actual like way something looks, I don't have a creative idea on the finished outlook. I'm more like building it and then figuring it out as I go. It does seem like that's our style. Like we put together a really rough structure for something, and then we figure out how it works from there.
Fill it in and do it twice.
Yeah, fill it in and do it twice. But I think this will help with like an overall design idea to go into something with a drawing, and like to be able to just type out an idea is so much cooler than anything I've done in the past. Like that I can actually just like type out, "Hey man, please make me this."
It is pretty funny you call him homie.
And yeah,
like
well,
all of his messages start with "Hey homie."
well, it's like I don't
Instead
know.
of its own message.
I don't know. Like I kind of feel like it gives me a different response. Like I think it knows like overall like it's really good at reading like everything you say. Like I a big thing that I'm a fan of is starting with telling it about me and like what I do, and then I tell it to make an idea like how I would make an idea. It takes a lot more typing, but I think it's cool. It evidently wastes
You know,
a lot.
it's got the talk to text.
Yeah.
Like, you can just talk to it. Anyway, so I think we'll probably grow. I don't know. I almost want to abstain from commenting because I would say the plan would be to get a brick and mortar establishment that can double as a studio. I think that we want to have the events truck rolling by mid-February, but I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? We want to have an ass load of events. Like we want to, like, how do we gear up and crank? Like it's January now. If we want to start doing events with this truck March 1st, how hard do we have to go immediately? You know what I mean? So like I think my predictions for the year are kind of based, but I think they should be a little bit bigger. Cause like imagine if we get an events truck out and we go to an event and it's just like murder. Like we just take all the money. Then how much faster will we want a second events truck, or how much will that money propel us in another direction? So I would think it's like, if we have the same team and we're all getting better at what we're doing, why don't we think that we're going to continue to grow at the same rate, right? And in one way, I think it's out of fear. Like, what are we, like today we were asked if we could hire for a company that was bigger than ours. Like, hey man, can you put out an ad and see if you can hire me some people? Right? And it's like, well, why would a company bigger than us ask that question? Well, shit, there's a part of business that we're exceptional at. You know what I mean? Like we can bring in talent quickly, trained up and good enough, fucking over and over again, hella fast. Like we have incredible, like insane attrition. We lose a lot of people. So I don't know. So with the growth, I think that, I don't know, I would say we would try to double. Like the goal is to at least double. So then what is doubling? And that shit's fucking, I guess, I don't know how that double comes out. I would say probably the same way as you, is infrastructure and moderate locational build, like moderate location addition, and then individual location advancement. You know what I mean?
Drop it somewhere.
Like throwing chips at every store. Or fucking getting a refrigerator
Skittles.
at all the spots. You know what I mean? Versus what we've done now. So, I don't know. We got some of the right formulas and recipes, and once we're dialed in, what would stop us from going way bigger? So, I guess we just answered locations and growth. Let me quick ask you guys about the management team. So, I'm always counting the number wrong, and I guess it could kind of fluctuate. We could go 6 to 7. How many of the 6 to 7 will be here 1 year from today?
I think for sure 3.
Us 4, not including you, Clara, you, Catherine?
Sure.
Wait, what do you mean sure? Who I have?
I think that's good.
Oh, okay. I think that in a year.
Sure is a lot like basically. Okay, go ahead.
This is basically wood.
It is basically wood. Keller.
I think that I don't think I could. Like, I think that if I had to pick the most likely person to lose in the next year, it's definitely Clara. Like, she's gonna go somewhere.
That's a good prediction.
Really good. Yeah. She'll move. It might not even be far. It might just be far enough to where she's just doesn't work for us anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Okay.
She seems like she's the kind to move.
So, Kurt, you up the ante. Who's out?
Do I have to pick somebody?
Yes. Well, wait. Do you think anyone will go in the next year? Like,
I'd hope not.
that's not a good
What?
answer.
What do you
Who's gonna
mean?
go?
Like, Johnny, who's your number one? If someone's going to leave,
Kurt.
Yeah, I could see that.
All the way. Like Kurt might not make it 6 more months with us.
Why is that?
What?
He's about to get some cool ass opportunity.
When?
No, that's a year.
That's
out.
a year.
Yeah, but like,
Is
I
it
don't
a
know,
year
someone
from
fishing
today?
you before though,
Oh, yeah. It's basically I'd be graduating around this time.
and then someone
So
fishing you
he'd be
before is
gone.
impossible.
He'd
Like
be
someone
gone.
fucking like reaching out to like one of your professors, being like, "Man, so who should I reach out to?"
My
You
professors
don't
would not
see
pick me.
us. You don't
Okay.
see.
Yeah.
You guys don't see Austin in an internship next summer.
Nah, I think Austin likes producing for us.
No, I think that
This is
an
Austin is
internship.
the super duper unlikely. Just will not get another job because he thinks this is so badass. Like, might not even apply.
What? You don't think people in this family?
Yeah, I
will
think
kill
Austin
him?
likes his
I think
job.
people in his family might kill him, and I think he doesn't give a fuck.
Huh.
I think that I, on the other hand, do give a fuck.
Who do you think?
To where I might apply for jobs because.
What do you mean? I think this team will only grow.
No, dude, you have to pick someone.
And I'm
You said
sure
we're upping. You
I
said we're
am-
upping the
I
answer. So
am
up
sure.
the
You
fucking
said I
answer.
am.
I am
Who's-
sure.
Who's out?
I am
Yeah.
sure.
I don't think it'll be
that
2024 that I leave.
I'm sure that Clara will be here.
So who is out?
Who do you think is the most likely?
Yeah,
like you're
what?
sure she'll be here, but is she the most likely one to leave?
That's why you brought Claire up in this
Most likely
conversation.
to leave.
That's probably.
Yeah.
Most likely to leave
what's your
top 5.
Dog.
Okay, so number 1, I can roll with. Fuck, that shit's fucking.
Wait, start
It's-
5. Start with 5.
With 5, it's Kurt or Johnny. That's number 1. Like, number 1 most likely to leave is Kurt or Johnny.
What? Why
Number-
Kurt? Wait, why Johnny?
Number 2 most likely to leave is the opposite one. Number 3 most likely to leave.
It's the opposite one.
Either
Wait.
you or I.
So yeah, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 in one order.
One
or
of us
another.
will leave and the other one will.
Number 3, actually, let's put Clara above you guys. Clara's number 1 most likely to leave. You guys are 2 and 3 most likely to leave. Austin is last. Keller's 4th. And I put that shit on Austin doesn't have any freedom. And everybody else does. Somebody's freedom is pressuring them, which is Clara. Always like, this is pressuring me. You know what I mean? You could leave college and go off and get a job in somewhere else. Johnny is too motivated. If we fuck up, like if what we talked about prior to this doesn't go good, there's opportunities that are already jumping at him. Like there's motherfuckers probably in his ear. Like if there was a headhunter for our business, they'd be talking to Johnny.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. Like, if you left here, you'd probably be the person that designs smoke shops. Like, you don't work for anyone, but like you go around and you're like, okay, TX, you want to open another location? I'll design it for you.
Or the house that we get, like say we move out of here, unties somebody and lets them think about their future. You know what I mean? Lets them think about the situation they're in.
Johnny's all nervous now.
You know what I mean? But I don't think it's
No.
for a negative. Like that would be the negative. I'd be like, well, damn, if we move out of this house, this studio, Johnny has a moment to look around, worked his ass off for a fucking dude. Like you work your ass off 100 hours a week for a year. You look and you say, huh? At the end of the year, you take a breath. There's an opportunity to fucking see something. You know what I mean? So I would say freedom wise. You know what I mean? Keller just took on freedom and is learning freedom. So I think it's harder to know freedom and use it. You know what I mean? Like where you feel pressured and Clara feels a different kind of pressure and Austin's fucking stuck.
Why is Austin stuck? Austin comes
Well, he
down
could
with
go
stuff.
get
Why
it.
is
He could
stuck?
go get another job. But he's in college, right? Like unless he graduates early, then why would you switch?
We're the same. When are you supposed to graduate?
2025 next year. So like after
So December or like January?
no spring semester.
Traditional.
Yeah.
Oh, you're younger than me. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have stuck. I don't think though.
Well, but like you can't be
Like I don't know
Like,
what
I
you
was
think
just
my
giving
family.
honest
I don't
reasons
know what
why
you
I
think my
thought-
family situation is, but like if I wanted to drop out, they couldn't stop me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but like, would
Like,
you
they
have a
would
lot of pushback for it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What if you decided not to get a job after this and you just worked at the Glassmith?
Oh my God.
They wouldn't care.
Oh.
No, my dad's been on the
yeah.
wave. My dad's been on the wave
Yeah.
that I'm adult, making my own decisions since I was like 12 years old. He's like, you're a man now, okay? Your decisions are your
How-
decisions. You
how
gotta face the
would he-
consequences of your decisions.
How would he apply the pressure? Like, what would you hear?
I'd probably just get like a long lecture of like why that maybe wouldn't be a good idea and how blah blah. Blah.
He's
I don't know.
confident though that you're a head over heart person, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't like. There's no reason why. There's there's no reason. Jesus, there's no reason to. I guess there's no reason for him to think that you would buck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always trusted the decisions, all the decisions you ever made. He kind of likes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So like if you dropped out, it would be like crazy to him. Like that's something he could fathom.
Yeah, it'd probably be pretty
Have you
crazy.
considered dropping out? You don't have to answer that, so he doesn't see it.
I'm gonna finish college. Let's say that. I'm gonna finish college.
Okay, let me ask. I guess like that was a harsh way. That was a harshy question, and I didn't mean it harshly in any way, guys. Like Keller, shit. If you're number one on the list, my bad. You know what I mean? Austin, if you got fucking dude, if like Pavement is
I have
offering you
Clara
fucking, if
firmly
Pavement's
at the
offering you
top.
some good opportunities, I get it. You know what I mean? Johnny, if fucking Raj offers you 100, you got to think about it.
What?
You know what I mean? Like if Raj is
Yeah.
like, hey man, here's 100,000 a year plus a % of all my business. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, nah, fuck you. I can't smoke weed in your warehouse. He'll probably be like, dude,
I
you can
can
smoke
smoke
weed
weed
in
in
here.
his
That's
warehouse.
what I'm saying. So I'm saying like all these things are like they're all positive. I guess except for you, Austin. But you also got the fucking number one spot, most likely to be with me next year. Let's go.
I'll
Anyway,
still
so the
be
last one is what like if you were to make like what would you be most excited for in a work way for the next year?
Most excited for?
Yeah, like I
next
know
year?
you have like personal life shit that's going on like in your work life. What are you most excited about?
Studio.
You said a glass blowing studio? Are we talking about making one?
Yeah, like what if like we got a spot that was big enough for you to have an actual room to blow glass in?
That would be really cool, but don't do that. That wouldn't make sense. I don't know. I think that the current trend of like trying to put more stuff on like social media in terms of glass blowing in order to grow that like sector of the business is like really cool, but really it would probably be the events truck. I think that's the coolest. Like the idea that we would drive to an event, pull up, blow glass, and sell stuff. Really, really cool. Because I think that we could sell a lot of stuff and grow all of our social medias quicker than any social media post.
Cool. Keller?
I'm really excited for events to start back up, like big or small, like little things like Thursday night karaoke in West Campus, or like
Okay.
the next time we do a frothing, perhaps.
All right.
Some cool events are coming up this year. We're turning 10. Things like that. Those will be really cool. I feel like with the team we've got, we can do some really cool things.
Oh,
Way better
yeah.
than last year.
Johnny?
I excited for it this year.
Just all in all? Nothing in particular standing
Well,
out?
like you understand, like I'm so excited for this truck, but like I wish I could have told you like the truck was done already by this year. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm excited for the truck, but I don't really know that that's a this year thing. Like that's more like I'm excited for this month on that. This year, I guess I'm excited. Like and like same like
Events
with
is
all.
pretty big. That's like
I don't-
like the events is from like a February to October. So like the truck.
Yeah, but
and
that's
the trucks,
not
the
that's
truck-
not
But he
that,
decided
but
to fake a truck.
I'm not saying like the thing that the truck goes and does. Like I know once this truck's done, no matter what we do with it, we're making money from it. Otherwise, we're just being stupid. I'm excited. I really hope we hop like a rusted down truck that we can just drop somewhere and then build it off, like almost like a brick and mortar trailer type of looking
We
situation.
just turn a truck into a trailer.
We turn a truck into a trailer that way, like it can post up somewhere and it can like really like absorb the environment around it, like maybe grow some vines on the side of it type of thing. I think that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a cool idea for like to work on for this upcoming.
I think I'm most excited to continue to grow the infrastructure in like my personal management skills of you guys, right? So like to try to kill out the question from above. Like can the management team stay intact, right? Like we just had to pick like it's just like let's pick someone out to get rid of, but in reality the goal is to work so hard so there's no reason at the end of the year for people to go. You know what I mean? It's like can like I push forward with two hands social media? Can we push the podcast forward with two hands? Can we push website and glassblowing forward with two hands? Like can I fight your job off? Can me and Keller organize infinity shops? Can me and Johnny grow infinity shops? And can I push all the things, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's been easy for me to push growth but with kind of everything else sacrificing. And so like I really want to what I'm excited for is working at pushing more things forward, like putting like using more to like I guess building my craftsman set a little bit bigger. You know what I mean?
Like on his year?
Yeah, but this year you start doing Kratom way more and you fall off, or you're still around?
Or like, are you done with any drugs? You can start any new drugs? Do you want to stop anything?
okay.
Billy,
Are you recording?
what's the top drug you think you're gonna do this year? Like number one favorite drug this year? Is it weed still?
Man,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no big habits this year.
You want to get rid of any habits?
No.
Are you thinking about only eating one meal a day?
Yeah.
Just dinner?
Like intermittent fasting?
Yeah.
No, it's not really. It's just
Just
That's
starvation.
the lifestyle. That's
you
just
know-
the life you live.
you eat throughout the day. Like you know.
Then you fill up and whatever you want in the evening. I don't know. So, anyways, this has been another episode of the Glassmith Pod. I'd like to thank all of you on behalf of Johnny, Kurt, Keller, and myself, Billy. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Check out our Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. Check out all our content everywhere. We're only here to bring you guys the best content. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Don't forget about our website.